everybody out there in YouTube. How are y'all doing today? I haven't posted any videos in a little bit. It's been really topsy-turvy for me. It really has. I got a lot going on. You know, my friend Denzel, the one that made the video before Sergeant Kenny. He was saying he knew what I had been through, and it was a lot. I mean, back to back to back ex-girlfriends, let's just say, that gave me the same ride, basically, you know, and they all did the same thing. And you know, I just went with it, and it took me a minute to get healed up, and you know, I went through a whole lot of soul searching, and I went on vacation. I had planned to actually post that video of me, but I said no. I didn't want to do that. Perhaps the next time I go to Sanibel or St. Augustine, I will do that, but I didn't want to do it just yet. Everything's cool out here, you know. I'm not really bad or anything, you know. I'm doing great, but I found a ring. I found a ring this morning, a diamond ring. Anyway, every now and again I tell Bible stories, and I wanted to start at the beginning. Okay, there's two separate stories that I can tell in the beginning, but what it is that I'm going to tell is a matter of factually. Okay, you have two separate people in the world. Some that are like Cain, and some that are like Abel. Okay, but if you go on before that, Adam and Eve, God warned them. He said that you could eat of any of the trees except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A lot of people take that story a lot different than what it actually is. Just remember, in these days to come, especially right now, a lot of us are given the mysteries of old, and they're just going to keep breaking out. Okay, I've heard this story, but I've also gotten this story from my father. Okay, and I listened and listened and listened, trying to get confirmation of it, because eventually you will get confirmation of anything that you hear if you're listening, and you can. Okay, so what happens is, this tree was not exactly in the Garden of Eden. It was just to the outskirts of Eden. And Eve wanders over there, and she was tempted. Okay? So you have to think about it. It sounds like a good kiddie story. She walks up to this tree. The devil says, "Hey, go ahead, eat some of that fruit off of that tree." And she pulls what most people believe was an apple from the tree. Well, that's a good story if you're a kid and you believe all of that, but that isn't exactly what it was. Now, we're known that a lot of fruits are actually symbolized as something. Okay? You have gifts and fruits, right? This fruit in this particular case was sex. Okay? God had not yet given Adam the tools and the know-how as far as sex was concerned. And the devil did. Okay? If you remember correctly, God, my Father, he said that from this day forward, snakes will roll around on their bellies and things like that. Okay? So, it means that they had arms and legs back during that time. So, the devil comes up to Eve. He tempts her. He has sex with her. Okay? And then Adam happens along. Now, Adam was talked into doing it, but it was done nevertheless. This is the first impression of a third party, let's just say. And this is also what got Eve pregnant. Okay? So it's the enmity of the two seeds. You get, when you eat fruit, you have a seed inside of it, right? The seed of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay? So, the born spawn of the devil himself was Cain. Okay? And Abel was the born spawn of Adam. Now, if there was no Cain, life would not be the way as it is right now. But for the sake of Cain and for the sin that Adam and Eve had done upon my Father, we had to pay for it. That's why when you look in the Bible, all the sexual sins are the ones that are really bad, and almost to the point of unforgivable. And it's really crazy, but it's true. Okay? So, when Cain is born, he's the firstborn, right? Abel actually comes out with his feet above Cain's head, right? And that is the scene of what God says as far as your enemy will be your footstool. You will crush your enemy with your feet. It's also shown in Golgotha, which is home of the skull, which is where Goliath was buried. His skull was buried by David, and Jesus Christ was crucified, get a mental picture, above his head, right? Yes, Goliath, that David killed. So you have to kind of, keep it all in perspective. Cain being the first born, and Abel being the second born of Adam. Cain was never killed. He was marked by God and given a number upon his head, which was actually 666, which numbers and names man. Okay, so now you know about the devil and Cain. Cain is the devil's son. Cain is the devil's son. I'll say it one more time. Cain is the devil's son. Okay, so the devil was as if a serpent being, right? With arms and legs. I know many of you, if not all of you, have heard of serpent or reptilian people. This is where it came from. Cain was half reptilian. It's just that simple. And of course, him being marked, which many will be marked also, him being marked was exactly that. It was exactly that. So, there you have it. Cain was the very first of many things. He was the devil's first child, firstborn child. Because the devil himself was narcissist, Cain was the very first narcissist human being upon the earth. I mean, he was the very first many things upon the earth. He was a martyr. He was the mark. He was the mark, the very first mark. There are many after him that are marked, and many of you may be marked. You will find that out. You would know that though, if you know about your own person and you know the way that you follow, you may be marked. But anyways, I want you to know that I love you so much. Love yourself, love God, and by all means love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.